Okay, guys, back on. Hopefully you can see me here. I'm gonna just adjust this a little bit. Okay, I think we are good. If you are on, I am just showing you today how to use some resistance bands. And please comment below if you are here and let me know, like, am I sideways? Am I straight up and down like I should be? Let me know if I am straight up and down or if it looks silly and sideways. So please let me know that. Hey Grace, I see you, girl. If you want to grab some resistance bands with me, go for it. I would love to have you, it's not really a workout, but I just want to show you maybe some ideas that maybe you hadn't thought of before to get an amazing workout with resistance bands. So I have several types here. And if you're just joining us, please let me know below in the comments if perhaps I am still sideways like I was when I first signed on, or if I am a-okay. All right. So different types of resistance bands. The first ones I want to show you are just these ones here. Now I have handles that you can clip on to the ends here, okay? You will take one resistance band here, and there's different ways you can set them up, but the idea here is to have a handle like this, okay? And then I would attach another handle to that if I was doing an exercise that required two handles. So these are resistance bands. So I would tell you, first of all, if you're looking to get some, I would always get the stackable ones, because the stackable ones, you can just add more weight to them, if you will, like another band. You can add two bands and just give yourself a little more resistance, because if you just get like 4 or 5 bands like they come, they are not going to be, for some exercises, probably heavy enough. They'll be great for some, but for the others, if you are not able to stack them and it's just like a one and go band that you can only use for one thing, it's just not very efficient. So if you're gonna spend the money, and by the way, I love these bands. I'm gonna tell you, let me get these. These here, they come with, let me see if I have that. They come with some, and I'll show you these too, some ankle attachments, so that's pretty awesome. And hey, Jennifer, I see you're watching. Hey, will you tell me if I'm straight up and down or sideways? These come with ankle attachments as well. So I'm gonna show you, remind me if I forget how to do some of those exercises as well, but usually you're gonna be using the handles. So many different colors here. I think in my set, which was Black Mountain brand, on Amazon. They also have a website. I got mine for, I think, about $45-ish. Sometimes they go on sale for the entire set. And again, they're stackable. So it's really like, thanks Jennifer, that you have more than, you know, just 6 or so resistance bands. Now, I've been told a lot of my clients are not able to find Black Mountain brand, and that's really the only one that I can vouch for, because it's the only one I've used and my clients have used in my gym. So that's what I would just say is, I don't know about the other ones, but I think there's probably some good ones. Again, just make sure they are stackable. Okay, on with the exercises. So let's talk about some important moves here. Oh, and let me show you the other bands too right before I start. These are monster bands. If you've ever heard like large loop bands, monster bands, these also come in different strengths. Usually for these bands, they're just gonna be thicker the stronger they are. And if you get into really heavy ones like this, you can deadlift with them, you can do assisted pull-ups with them and such. So I'm gonna be showing you how to use both sorts of resistance bands. So let's just start here with perhaps the basic squat. Does that sound good to y'all? Let's just start with the basic squat. And I'm gonna hang them out here as we go. So I'm gonna have 2 handles to squat. I'm gonna show you how to squat with a band like this, and then I'm gonna show you how to squat with a large loop band. So several things you can do. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're just going to step into the band. Make sure that you're even on both sides so that one's not way up here and one's down there. So make sure you're in the middle of the band. And now you're going to bring them up here. So elbows are pointing down to the ground, and you're just gonna squat down and then back up. Show you from the side, squat down and up. So that's how you would do it. There's several different ways to do it as well with this band. You could simply hold them down by your sides if you want and squat. I don't like this as much because obviously on the way down, you're not gonna get much tension. You might actually have to grab down a little bit lower if you want more tension at the bottom. Definitely just pass up the handles and do that. So that's definitely a way to add more tension than just holding them like that. Okay, so again, the other way, squat up here, totally works. Another benefit, of course, of resistance bands is that they're cheaper than dumbbells. They're cheaper than buying a large set of dumbbells. Now, I really think that dumbbells, personally, probably would be my go-to if I had to choose one, but they're more expensive. These work great. To say one is better than the other, I don't know. It's just a tool, and tools do different things. So I think both are great, okay? I know a lot of people on my Lift with Emily program, any program I write, I also include variations for resistance bands as well as dumbbells, because if you want to do it at home, I want you to be able to do it. So I always show you different variations. Okay, so let's do a squat. Now that we've done that, let's find another kind of band, like the large loop band, and let's just show you what that might look like. So I am going to grab this one here. This is my monster band. And if y'all have any questions, go ahead and write them, and I'll try to come up to the screen and look at them a little bit. So there's different ways you can do a squat with this. You can step on like either one for less tension, for less, to make it easier, okay? And you can squat down and hold it here and pick it up, squat down like that. So I'm grabbing to where I have enough tension on the sides, and there's a squat, okay? That is one way you could do it. Now, if you have the need to stand on both of these, get them flat here, and then you can grab it like their handles here. You see how I have this here? So many different ways. You can widen up your squat stance, make it a little more resistance there. Totally works. Now, another way I like to do it, not everybody would like this way because it's a little more uncomfortable, but what you can do is you can step into the band and you can put it around, like, not like around your neck, but right at the base of it, okay? So kind of around your shoulders. And now you have a lot of resistance on the way up and down, and you can squat this way. So now you have resistance on the way up, on the way down to that squat. So there you go, handled band and a monster band for squat. Let's move right along to the deadlift. I love a good deadlift. Works the back of the legs, you know, your hamstrings and your glutes. Really important. So what I'm gonna show you, deadlift. Now, you know, this might work for a beginner. I'm gonna be honest, if you're super duper strong and you're lifting like, you know, 200 plus pounds, this particular band might not be super duper hard for you, but everybody begins somewhere. So let me show you what it looks like. You are going to stand in the band. Again, make sure that you have evenness on both sides, okay? So I've got a little slack in the middle of my band, and I'm just gonna pull it up here. Now, sometimes you might need to wear shoes, and that would help you from making it slide, definitely. But this gives you the idea of what a deadlift would look like. Let me show you from the side. I'm gonna be honest, I love the monster bands better for the deadlift. They just work better. So here, right here, that does work. Alternately, you can step on the band and make sure that you grab down low enough. Now, the squat is a little bit different than the deadlift, and to an untrained eye, they might look the same, but the difference is with the deadlift, and this would actually be probably a better way to do the deadlift on this type of band, your hips are gonna go back first, and then you come up, okay? With a squat, you're more bending at the knee first, okay? Here's a squat, okay? And here's a deadlift. Hips go back to the wall behind you first and come up. Again, this is not like super strong, not a lot of resistance to do a deadlift, which is why I would prefer the monster band. And I'm gonna show you a few ways to do the deadlift on on the monster band, okay? So first off, what you can do, if you need a little less resistance, and of course you're gonna have to choose the band that suits you, you'll just have to play around with that, okay? I'm just gonna leave some slack here, throw that down, and make sure I have some slack here to pull up, come up, squeeze your glutes, back down. This is much better and way more sturdy and quite a bit harder than the other one I was showing you. But I'm gonna show you a few ways to do this too. So this might be a way a beginner would do it. Right here. This is your deadlift, okay? That's definitely one way to do it. Another way that again might be a little more uncomfortable for both, or for people, but is a way, I think it's a lot harder, is to open up your band, put your feet in it, put it around the base of your neck, top of your shoulders again, okay? Now, you're gonna get some slack in your band at the bottom where my feet are. Okay, let me put this band a little, you have to kind of play with it here, okay. And then you're gonna come up, squeeze your glutes. So that is gonna add quite a bit of tension, especially if you get a thicker band there. This ponytail is not working for me today. Okay, so here, get some slack here in the band, come up. And that's quite a bit more challenging, okay? So that's a way you can deadlift with the band. Now, I'm gonna grab a drink of water, and then I'm gonna show you a lunge with both types of bands. I hope y'all are learning something. So, my Lift with Emily people here, I see a few. They probably are familiar with most of these because I put in all my programs ways to do it with resistance bands as well as handle bands, okay? So with the lunge, I'm gonna show you first on this nice little handle band what you're gonna do. A couple ways. All right, so I'm gonna put in my front foot, my foot here in the band, middle of the band again, bring it up, gonna lunge back, and when I come up, I'm really gonna feel that tension. So this is how you would weight up your lunge with a handled band, but that's not the only way. The other way you can do it is to create tension down here by grabbing past the handles and then coming up like this. Of course, this is only one type of lunge, and there are many different types. Side lunge, let me just show you what a side lunge would look like, what you could do. One way you could do it. So with the side lunge, hopefully you can see me there. You could do this. I even think that you could probably, let me see here, you might even be able to do this. That kind of works. And see, sometimes I'm just figuring out stuff myself. So side lunge, maybe not as well, but I think that if I played around with it, I could figure that one out. Okay, so a monster looped band and a lunge, different ways. You can put it behind your neck again. Actually, it's kind of like right on top of my shoulders. My foot in here. And now I have tension on the way up and down. And if I want a little bit more, I can just kind of pull on this, give it a little tug, and that's gonna create more resistance for me with this band. All right? So, lots of options, friends. All right, let's talk about a row. Many different types of rows you could do for the back. Want to make sure that we work that back. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to take one handle off. Well, let me show you a double row first, a bilateral row. What we could do here is get into this position, and I'm going to grab past the handles for this particular one because I just need a little bit more, and you're going to row, okay? That's a way to do it, okay? If you want to do a single arm row, you're going to lose one of these handles. You're going to attach both sides to the handle. Well, let me put it around my anchor first. Put it around my anchor, very sturdy anchor, make sure it's not going anywhere. And also make sure that the edge of it is kind to your band. You don't want any sharp surface there. And by the way, you'll see that a lot of these bands come with a door anchor. Y'all, I wouldn't recommend it that much. I'm just gonna be honest, okay? Maybe for like a really light band, but I wouldn't recommend it when you start getting heavy with the bands, okay? So, a row here. This is one way. Gonna have a sturdy anchor, and then you can do it like that, okay? And for a monster band, let me show you. Let me get this off here. Gonna use it again in a moment. Monster band. So the thicker the monster band is, the monster band having no opening, the harder it will be. So that's what you need to know about that. So I'm gonna put this around my anchor here. And for the sake of this video, let's see. Yeah, you can see. So this way you could row, okay, like this, or you could take both sides and row this way. So you're getting a great back workout here. Okay, so again, change the width of the band if you need something harder. I'm just demoing these, so you might not have, this might not be enough for you. Okay, so an overhead press. Overhead press. Let me show you what that would look like. I'm going to show you first with my handy dandy little handled band. Got to work those shoulders. So here's what you need to know about this. Okay, if you want to make it slightly easier, you're going to do 1 foot in the middle of your band, press up. If you want to make it a little bit more resistance, both feet, and press up. Also, of course, you can change your band. So from the side, and I'm going to tell you another little tip I have discovered. I'm sure I'm not the only one who has discovered this, but a lot of people will tell me that it really bothers them having the handle on the outside, okay? All you gotta do, boom, grab from the outside, and then do your exercise, and you won't feel that going along your, the back of your arm or anything. So grab from the outside, and then do your exercise, okay? Definitely preference there. As far as an overhead press with a monster band, we are going to do the same thing. You can step into it with 1 foot to make it a little easier, and then you can step into it with 2 feet to make it harder. So I'm going to go ahead and do 1 foot here, and then I'm just going to press up. And you are working, look at that. Look at those muscles working. I'm not even sure if you can see. But believe me when I say that, you know, keeping resistance all the way through the range of motion is something bands do really well. Again, not better than dumbbells, not worse than dumbbells, just a different tool. I like them both. I use them both in my own training. Okay, so we've done a row and a press. And of course, like I said, if you want to put 2 feet in there, make it a little more special. Or you can just do a single arm wow press, makes it fantastic as well. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, you only want to use these monster bands for pull-up assistance, and generally speaking, you're going to be using a pretty thicker band. Like, how thick is this? Like half of my thumb, and even beyond this. Maybe like if you're just starting, you might even have a band twice this width. Okay, so definitely keep that in mind. They come in all sizes. These are from Rogue, really love them. Those are the ones that I know about, and they work really, really well. And as you get stronger with your pull-up and you need less assistance, then you'll go to a thinner band, okay? But only these bands for the purpose of pull-ups. So what else do I want to show you? Okay, how about some biceps and triceps with those bands? With the band, the handled band, that can do the job for sure. I'm going to stand in the band, like so. Again, 2 feet for a little more intensity, 1 foot for less intensity. I'm just going to row up. These handles are noisy and squeaky. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but whoa, sounds like somebody's in pain. Okay, so that is your bicep curl with the handled bands. Love these. I love them even more actually when you put them on an anchor. So let me just put this on an anchor here. And you can even do things, one of my favorite bicep band exercises is the face away bicep curl. So you're facing away from the anchor. So I do recommend getting a sturdy anchor. Mine are like drilled into the wall, like in a 2x4. So those work amazingly well. Otherwise, it might be a little difficult, but you can find something around the house that's sturdy, maybe the bottom of a couch leg, something like that. Just make sure it's really sturdy before you go really heavy. Again, those door anchors, don't really recommend them for the heavy bands. Oh, you know what? I didn't show you maybe like an ab exercise. So let's do that. How about the pallet press? Amazing core exercise. So I'm really just showing you, like, these can be great for every single part of your body, okay? So I only have a low anchor right here. I prefer, like, if I'm gonna have a setup anchor, I have one on the floor, one about chest width, and then one like at the very top that I can hardly touch. So I like my anchors in different ranges. But just to show you maybe like an ab exercise with the bands, this is sort of like a pallet press. I usually have it chest height. But just know that if you get away from it and you're pulling, you can really feel that oblique. And then I would turn around and do it on the other side. Again, you can totally do that with the monster bands, putting it around something and stepping out and feeling that core on fire. So yes. Okay, back to biceps and triceps because I love biceps and triceps. With my handled band, let me show you. Oh, I did. I showed you the bicep curl with the band, but I don't think I showed you with the red band here. So let me do that. So again, 1 foot or 2 feet. 2 feet is going to be harder. And you may have to grab down a little bit to find your tension here. And then you're just going to bicep curl. Just like that. And let me tell you, y'all, this is kind of a thin band, but I'm feeling it. I love that resistance on all the way up and all the way down, okay? There's your bicep curl. And if you want to do something with triceps, I've got you there too on this band. This is kind of a thin band, so I might need a little more tension than what this is, but just to demo, I'm gonna put 2 feet in, lean over. These are not all-inclusive exercises, y'all. There's like 100 more I could think of to do with the bands. I'm just saying they're very useful. So don't think that there's not a lot of things that you can do. That was a great tricep pump exercise. And yeah, so don't think that they're not useful and say, oh, I don't have dumbbells, I can't work out. When you can get an entire range of bands for, you know, maybe 40 bucks. Again, if you were just joining us, please get the stackable ones because those are so much better in the strength that they have for you, okay? So right now I'm going to show you with the handled bands how I would do that same tricep exercise. Just going to stand both feet here, probably going to surpass the handles here for me and just kick back like that. That's just your basic tricep kickback, but it works wonders and can be done with a handled or a monster band. Okay, so one I love, we don't want to forget about the glutes. If you train with me, you know we work a lot of glutes because those are the powerhouse of the lower body. I'm spilling this on myself. Okay, so glutes, what you're gonna do, I love the mini bands, and in fact, these mini bands are amazing for adding something special to your squat, and I'm gonna show you that as well. But if you only have like one of these bands or a monster band, I'm just gonna show you one exercise that I love. It is the lateral walk. So for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna go back and forth. But, so I'm here, but if I need a little more tension, I'm just going to X this band, okay? And then I'm just going to walk sideways, pushing through this foot to go the opposite direction, and your glutes are going to light up like a Christmas tree. Promise you that. And if I'm going to be doing it with a different band, a monster band, same idea here. You're gonna step into it, exit out, pull it, give yourself as much tension as you need, and then you're gonna be doing the same thing, okay? So talk about an amazing exercise for the glutes, as well as, so I haven't shown you yet my attachment. I think I showed you. Where did it go? Where did it go? See, this is the craziness with live videos. Okay, so I had an attachment, here it is, for the ankle, and I'm gonna show you just a little hip abduction exercise that I can do with this. This one I'm gonna put on a very low anchor. See, all these bands are running together here. Okay, low anchor here. I'm going to slip one of my feet in it here, my ankle. And all I'm gonna do here, if you can see me, yeah, is I'm gonna take my leg out. It's great abduction exercise outside of the glutes here. Really gonna feel it. And of course, then I'm gonna put it on the other leg, turn around the other direction, and do the other leg. So amazing things that you can do with the bands. I think I've kind of covered everything that I was gonna cover. So if you have any questions, please leave them below. Even if you're joining us and we're not live anymore, go ahead and type in your question, and when I see it, I will be happy to answer you. So again, if you weren't here at the beginning, my preferred bands with the handles, okay, are Black Mountain. Can't find them right now, I hear, on Amazon, but I'm sure there are many others that are great. But the main thing you want to do is get these stackable ones where you can add another band to it, and maybe to see what that looks like, you know, just gonna add another band to the handle here. So now you have more resistance than you would if you only had to choose from 4, 5, or 6 bands, okay? So you can be like somewhere in between or a lot stronger. Okay, so I hope that was helpful today. The handled bands and the monster bands, and we even did a few things on the mini bands. You know what I didn't show you? Let me go ahead and put this above my knees. That last one I was showing you with the glutes on fire. So these are great for glute work. They can add something quite special to your squat. If you just kind of push your knees out a little bit, this is much harder than your just basic body weight squat. You can add a band to this, like holding it, or you can add dumbbells to that and whatnot. So, okay, so that's that. I think I'm kind of done there. And if you have any maybe video suggestions of things you would like to see, or tips, or anything, please let me know. I would love to hear it. Julie. Oh, okay, Julie, now you know what those ankle straps are for, so thanks for saying that. Okay, hey, Bonnie, Office Depot has BMP bands. I assume that Black Mountain Products bands. That's insane. You go, girl. I love that. Okay, so that's great to know. So Bonnie has said that these bands are also at Office Depot of all places. That's crazy. All right, because people are working out in their office, right? I don't know, home office. So hopefully this was helpful, and yeah, holler if you need anything. And listen, all these tutorials plus like 400 more are in my Lift with Emily app, which is a very structured program, 3 to 4 days a week. The 4th day is a bonus day. But I'm gonna build this community. Well, we have this community, but I'm gonna make it even better because I'm about to blow it up with like nutrition advice, Q&A sessions, some live sessions, and all that good stuff. So you can do this with, yes, online. You can do this Lift with Emily program. Y'all, I'm losing my train of thought here. I'm trying to watch these comments come in and like talk to y'all. You can do it with resistance bands and or dumbbells, and barbells are amazing to have too with the Lift with Emily program. So I hope this helps. Not all inclusive, but definitely a little tiny dive into what it might look to train with resistance bands. All right, I hope y'all enjoyed. I'm gonna see you later. Holla.